Hello everybody, video here for you today. There's a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing phenomena on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. The federal government tried and failed for 20 years to find answers, but now a new team of experts has taken over, determined to reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. This is the No Cap recap of The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 1 finale, Episode 8, called Revelations, aired June 2nd, 2020. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. In the previous episode, Eric examined the footage of the area of the still alive cow when this UAP was right above it. It did not fly into that spot, just appeared there. The cow is shown as trying to get up but cannot, and it is presumed to have died at that moment. This is that same frame but zoomed in, and the UAP is highlighted. In the next frame, 1/15th of a second later, the UAP is further to the left. Dr. Taylor does some quick math and says it moved about 75 feet in a 15th of a second, which translates to 1,000 feet per second, approximately as fast as a high-powered rifle bullet. Dr. Taylor asks Eric to zoom in and points out a halo effect that he believes is caused by the temperature differential between the craft and the air around it. It reminds him of the Tic Tac UAP recorded by the U.S. Navy in 2004 over the Pacific Ocean, west of San Diego, California. It also reminds Dr. Taylor of the first UAP ranch owner Brandon Fugel saw on the ranch when the good doctor first met with the team shown in episode 1. Having worked for the government for many years, he does not personally believe that the technology is a secret government project. Linda Moulton Howe, animal mutilation expert and veteran of many History Channel shows, was in the last episode as well, and says that she thinks they are dealing with point-to-point travel, portals, and advanced technology. She encourages the team to continue with their work because it is the only way we're going to discover the truth. The team decides to end the experiments until all of the data they have collected has been examined fully. The rest of the team will continue to monitor happenings on the ranch, but Dr. Taylor returned home to Alabama until a meeting at Brandon's office in Salt Lake City, Utah, a month later. He says that he kept looking over his shoulder for strange things to happen. Brandon brings a guest to the meeting, Attorney General of the state of Utah, Sean Reyes. Brandon has been keeping him informed of the events on the ranch. The presence of the Attorney General prompts Dr. Taylor to say later that it shows him how seriously the state of Utah is taking what they are doing on Skinwalker Ranch. He further points out that even if only some of their suspicions are correct, the national security implications could be huge. They recap the demise of the cow and the detection of gamma and microwaves at the site, as well as cell phones changing screens by themselves. Thomas adds that they did what ranchers do when there are livestock deaths: take the body to a corner of the ranch so that the coyotes and scavengers pick it clean. It has been a month and the carcass has no bite or scratch marks on it. Later, Dr. Taylor said one of his graduate students that worked on a ranch told him that if lightning strikes a cow, no other animal will touch it. During a rocket launch experiment, UAPs appeared and the cows started running, bunching together. Some appeared to be panicking and some were fighting. Attorney General Reyes asked about the danger to humans as well, and Brandon asked Dr. Taylor to relay his experience. In addition to almost passing out in a cave in the mesa, he and Dr. Segala were exposed to high levels of radiation. Dr. Taylor got much more radiation and had burns on his head and hand. Not revealed until now, 1 to 2 weeks later, he developed a bump on his knuckle that kept getting bigger over the summer. X-ray revealed he had 2 bone spurs. Surgeons removed a cyst the size of an M&M candy. This is his finger after surgery. He says it feels like a broken bone and that it still hurts a little. Thomas received an injury even before filming started on the show after he dug on the ranch. He developed a knot on the back of his head that caused a separation of his scalp from skull, as shown on the left. On the right is a similar injury he suffered during an experiment, no digging this time. He got this one in season 5. Fortunately, it was not as severe. Eric says they are continuously dealing with some kind of interference that takes their systems down, including the aforementioned cell phone malfunctions. Another issue is that fully charged batteries suddenly are drained. The operator of this ground-penetrating radar device said he had never experienced that before. They've also had drones that would work fine in one spot and then fail to connect at the base station when moved 10 feet over. Brandon asked Dr. Taylor if he thinks there was any communication between the team and the phenomena. Dr. Taylor says later that he can't stop thinking about the possibility that when they shoot rockets, that could be perceived as, hey, we're here. And the UAPs appearing after could be something saying, hey, back. Ranch manager Jim Morris confirms that there has never been as much phenomena happening on the ranch before, that it increased this last year, 2019, in sync with all the experiments happening. Eric built a computer model to illustrate how the Uinta Basin is like a dish, and that signals that come from above are reflected back. The ranch is very close to the middle of the basin. Eric took the data and estimated the reflections that would be happening. Dr. Taylor says there would be a lot of energy being reflected to the top of the cone in the middle. There was a 2,000-foot high cone detected multiple times during season 5 using terrestrial LiDAR, but Eric's model here goes up much higher than that. They did not mention this model as far as I can recall. Dr. Taylor says the energy could be coming from space and is reflected by the basin, but also that the basin could be a lens and the energy is coming from inside the earth. Dragon says it could be a combination of the two, and Dr. Taylor says absolutely. They had launched a weather balloon with radio frequency and microwave detection instruments on it. And when it got to 5,000 feet, where Dr. Taylor surmised there was a local concentration of energy, the instruments stopped working. He's pointing at the 5,000 feet level right here. Dr. Taylor picks this moment to let everyone know that he has been approached by members of the intelligence community for the government. Brandon says, so we're being monitored? Dr. Taylor says, yes. Dr. Taylor goes on to say that he doesn't know what they want, but his guess is that they have detected similar things that the team is detecting on the ranch, and they want to compare notes. All he knows is that apparently the government knows what they're doing and is taking it seriously. Low-flying aircraft, including this helicopter, are common on the ranch. Dr. Taylor further says that it is likely that even if they have a meeting with the government, that the government would not acknowledge that the meeting took place. Brendan asked what the team needs to do going forward. Eric says he'd like much more instrumentation and cameras on the ranch, 24/7 surveillance, because there may be things going on all the time that they're not aware of because they're not on the ranch nor looking everywhere at the same time. Dr. Taylor would like them to design a payload that NASA would launch for free if they involve a university. As a secondary mission on something already scheduled, the payload would orbit over the ranch to continuously transmit relevant data from space. Dr. Taylor is also curious as to whether or not that data transmission would stimulate phenomena like the instrumented rockets do. Dr. Scala suggests putting a medical program in place on the ranch to better take care of the people on it. I'll continue these retro no-cap recaps of seasons 2 through 6. Seasons 1 and season 5 are already done and are in the Secret of Skinwalker Ranch playlist. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of The Curse of Oak Island, seasons 7 and 8. All of the other episodes are already done and are in my Oak Island playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.